A new charge of dangerous weapons drive-by shooting filed against Jerome Thomas III of Moorhead this week. He's already facing charges as a murder suspect in a November 2024 shooting in Moorhead. According to court documents, scientific analysis of the lead used in the bullets is now matched to a gun that Thomas was in possession of. For background on all this, here's our earlier reporting from this November 2024 murder in Moorhead. Murder suspect Jerome Anthony Thomas III has been arrested in Michigan. He's the suspect in the Sunday morning murder of 39-year-old James Earl Hamilton here in Moorhead. Arrested along with Thomas in Michigan was 32-year-old Abby Nicole Fredrickson of Moorhead. And formal murder charges have now been filed against Thomas in what's described as a drive-by shooting. For more details on all this, reading from the statement of probable cause, quote, Sunday at 9:30 a.m., Moorhead police officers were dispatched to 2701 14th Street South here in Moorhead. Upon arrival, officers located a male lying in the driveway with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the head. The male was later identified as J.E.H., victim 1, and was declared deceased at the scene. On call, the detective and other detectives were called in to investigate the matter. Video surveillance from nearby homes and buildings were collected and reviewed. A review of one video showed victim 1 and a juvenile in the driveway by the residence when a green Chevrolet Trax bearing a temporary license plate out of Indiana is seen driving by and 3 gunshots are heard. The green vehicle then continues on and leaves the area. A few minutes later, another gunshot is heard on the surveillance video. Detectives spoke with victim 2, the juvenile who was standing next to the male who was killed, victim 1, when the green car drove by, and the driver fired 3 gunshots as he drove by. Victim 2 indicated he recognized the driver as Jerome Thomas. The victim further stated that he did not see anyone else in the car with the defendant. A 911 caller stated they heard 3 gunshots and noted the driver of the vehicle to have longer dreadlocks and wearing a red sweatshirt. While the 911 caller was on the phone, they heard the 4th gunshot. Detectives then spoke with victim 3, who stated she was seated in a parked car down the street from where the initial shooting occurred. Victim 3 was the girlfriend of the male who was killed and had driven victim 1 and 2 to the location. The female victim did not go into the residence due to an earlier order prohibiting her from having contact with that residence. Victim 3, the female, has known the defendant over 10 years and stated he knows what she drives. The female stated that the defendant drove up to her vehicle, got out, hit her driver's side window with a fist, and then stated he fired 1 gunshot at her before getting back in the green SUV and leaving the scene. Surveillance video from a nearby building captured the interaction and the defendant in a scene with longer dreadlocks and wearing a red sweatshirt. Detectives learned the green SUV driven by the defendant was registered to Abby Nicole Fredrickson, who is an acquaintance of the defendant, Thomas. The detective was able to talk with Fredrickson via phone, and Fredrickson indicated the last time she saw the defendant was approximately 11 p.m. on April 12th. Fredrickson stated that her car was at her residence when she woke up in the morning around 11 a.m. Fredrickson denied the defendant was currently with her. Fredrickson stated she was over 4 hours away from Moorhead with the suspect vehicle. After being advised by the detective of the murder investigation and the need of the vehicle and location of the defendant, Fredrickson stated she would come back to Moorhead and call the detective when she was back. There has not been any contact with Fredrickson since, and the vehicle has not been brought back to Moorhead. Tracking devices through OnStar show the current location of the vehicle is in a rural part of Michigan. Frederickson's phone has also been tracked to that location. The defendant's phone was tracked to the Duluth area, where it has remained stationary for a significant amount of time. A search warrant was executed at the home of Frederickson. Neighbors indicated the male had been living or staying with Frederickson. When shown a photo of the defendant, the witness stated that was the male they saw living with Frederickson. Located in the home was a red sweatshirt, an empty gun box, and ammunition that appears to be the same caliber as casings recovered at the location of the shooting. There also appears to be indication that the residence was left suddenly, as there was food still in the microwave and the door was unlocked. That was from the statement of probable cause. Again, that vehicle has been found in rural Michigan. And today, Monday at 12 p.m., Moorhead police say Thomas and Frederickson were arrested in Michigan on a traffic stop. Both of them are in custody and awaiting extradition back to Minnesota. Thomas now charged with second-degree murder with intent, not premeditated, second-degree murder, drive-by shooting, and attempted murder, first degree with intent while committing a drive-by shooting, and second-degree murder with intent not premeditated. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.